Special meeting to order. It's Tuesday, May 26th, 2026 at 4 p.m. Trina,
Yes, Mayor Morris.
here.
Commissioner Elmer is excused this afternoon. Commissioner Macy Baker.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Great. And we're here to talk about the facility project, and I think I'm going to call on Chad. Yes.
Good afternoon, all.
Hi.
Okay,
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Very
We're
ready.
ready for you.
Yes, you are. No, this is exciting day. So this has been a long time coming for McMinnville Water and Light. I started reflecting before the meeting. I believe it was in 2019 that staff actually came to the commission and we presented kind of a grassroots master plan, if you will. One of those main priorities in that master plan was the construction of a fuel station for emergency operations. In 2022, we completed that. So we knocked that off the list. In 2022, we actually did solicit RFPs for a facility master plan, and an official one, if you will. Soderstrom Architects was selected for that. And then the following year, after that was complete, we selected MW&L Architects to design phases 1 and 2 of the facility master plan, which was actually broken up in four phases. So we progressed through beginning of design with that. And then in early 2025, we came to the commission seeking an exemption from competitive procurement to go the CMGC route, or the construction manager general contractor construction method. That was approved through resolution 2025-. Once that was approved, we sent request for proposals on the street. And through that process, we had some good proposals. We did interviews with the top 2 selected. Top 2 proposers, I guess, and we selected PNC Construction. Since that time, MW&L Architects, PNC, and staff for the owner architect contractor committee, OAC. As we're going through design, we've come to the commission a couple times. We presented the schematic design and design development as we've gone through this process, and today we're kind of putting almost a bow on it, if you will, with a guaranteed maximum price proposal. So to kick it off today, we have Stephen Olhaber from MW&L Architects. He's going to come up and he's going to go over some of the latest drawings and different elements of the project. And then after that, Jeremiah Dotson from PNC will come up and present the actual GMP proposal. And then I will slam the door, hopefully, with a recommendation to the commission on the GMP proposal. So, Stephen, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chad. My name is Stephen Olhaber. I'm with MW&L Architects. I'm a project manager with MW&L. I've been involved with this project since the original RFP. So this is, like Chad said, it's been a great journey. It's been great to work with McMinnville Water and Light on this project, and seeing you all through the evolution of the commission too. I'm not going to get today. What I've done is put a presentation together to show you. It's a little bit of a rehash of the design development presentation. What we did from that stage to this stage is basically put together the construction drawings. So it's a lot of detailed documentation that I don't have time really to go through the full depth of it. So I thought it would be a good idea just to refresh with you some of the imagery of the design intent and the scope of the project, so you can kind of get an idea, once again, a refresh of what the GMP would encompass for this particular project. Do I have control? Oh, I could do controls. Okay. So what I'd like to do is just start out with like macro view and then go into the actual building. So the project is actually larger than just the warehouse and administration building. We have site development as well. Basically, So, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So the site development, the blue represents the existing buildings, the lighter cyan represents the additions onto them. We are also bringing into the project a new secure employee parking lot, as well as a new public parking lot. And that involved sort of a reconfiguration of the site and also addressing some of, we'll call it the deficiencies in the site. So there was an existing transformer yard right located where the new employee parking lot number 7 would go. So we're now really relocating that over to this portion of the yard. There was some drainage problems that were discovered on site with a lot of standing water. And now we're enacting a design that was done a little bit earlier to help relieve a lot of just the standing water and usability of the site in wetter times of the year. So that's the number 2 portion we see here. Number 3, to get into the buildings. Number 4 is actually the existing warehouse, and per prior meetings, the proposal of doing the addition onto the warehouse to move a lot of the storage that's taking the place of the vehicle areas into its own space with a new bridge crane and loading dock and proper area for materials is in the addition of 3. Number 5 is the existing administration building that's in the darker blue over here. That will be augmented with an addition to the east, which encompasses a lot of the public-facing uses of the building, such as a new commission, multi-purpose room, new customer service, new supported bathrooms, and other supporting spaces for that area. And then off to the west, a new engineering addition to provide needed office space as the existing offices are cramped. And then 5 is going to be a reconfiguration of the actual programming in existing building to provide an actual break room, upgraded toilet facilities, a new reprogramming of all the offices, as well as support areas such as filing and electrical and technology rooms as well. The building itself, the existing buildings themselves have not been renovated really since the 1988 original construction of the project. So not only are we seeing things where building technology is advanced and the systems are basically at the end of their lifetime, but we're also seeing the way people work is differently now as well. So this is kind of a unique chance to take the building actually down to the structural studs, build it out almost as a new building, and link the additions in so that we're not dealing with seismic joints, we're dealing with a full building that's now seismically strengthened to the full extent of the code. And we're doing that same thing for the warehouse too. The addition is now providing the strengthening, the bracing of the building that will then allow the warehouse itself to be braced seismically as well. So we're seeing the full buildings are really great renovation in additions to them. And then last but not least, we are also doing new frontage improvements along the Riverside Drive as well, which will consist of mainly a sidewalk, street trees, and just the general continuation of the normal public requirements for the city. This is a little bit more blow up here. I won't spend too much time on it, but again, the main secure public, employee parking lot of this area, the new public lot up adjacent to the building. We're incorporating a better flow through for the mail drop. We have more prominent with the main flag, and signage is being improved. The control access for the the secure employee lot is way improved, as well as like stall spacing and general circulation. The ability for overflow parking from an event to happen there is also considered in the plan. I went into a little bit of detail with the warehouse and administration building as well. And we'll get a little bit more into that in the next couple slides. This is the warehouse building. So as far as square footage goes, it's almost a doubling of the existing building. Again, the new addition is broken up into a higher bay structure with a bridge crane to help with unloading and loading of larger materials, and the ability for delivery trucks to drive right through. So this will help not only loading and unloading of like heavy spools of wire or other heavy materials onto the actual crew trucks, but also taking them off of delivery trucks as well. There are new loading docks here with a new sort of depressed loading bay to the north as well. The new addition is going to be primarily moving a lot of the rack storage that was put here due to chain issues during COVID, and now finding a permanent home for them in the new addition. And then the original use of the warehouse will then be returned back to more vehicle storage, vehicle maintenance, and prep in that area. So this building that was doing double duty and sometimes getting a little bit tight there will now see a new way to better house the inventory in the new addition, and then again return this back to the original use. The building itself for the new addition is going to be an MPP panel, mass plywood panel. It'll be clad in a formed metal panel skin with a metal roof that will be continuation of the existing roof, and the metal panel will provide a look very similar to the existing building as well. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the office addition and then go into the exterior images so you know what we're looking at versus me telling you, trust me, this is what's behind this, so you get a better idea. So this is the new eastern addition over here. The new western addition is here. You can see the existing building is in the middle. I've color coded some of the use areas of highlight. The orange over here is the commission room with a serving kitchenette, a storage room, and deliberation room, and the supporting bathrooms and IT and electrical room. The cyan area is the main entrance for the building. It will have not only immediate access to the customer service counters located at the end of it, there will also be a display wall to show the history and current events of what's going on in McMinnville Water and Light, and also show a little bit of what's happening in the commission room through a monitor and a various display here. The green is basically focusing on customer service and the activities to help people with their accounts. We have the usual counters and the customer service team located here. We're also incorporating in a consultation meeting room for people that may need a little bit more privacy or a little bit more attention. Toilet room for use for people waiting here. A couple other support areas of copy room and storage and safe room as well. Then over in the main existing building, we're basically reorganizing the office layouts. We're keeping a lot of the same core functions as the toilet room, staying in the same place, as well as the IT. But what we're doing is we're redistributing the offices along the perimeters for window access and creating better acoustics between it, and also providing larger side lights. So there's a more interior exterior view, and it's bringing more light into the interior to make just more of a little bit more brighter interior office space. We've got a new high density file area that's sort of providing more filing opportunities and storage opportunities in a smaller footprint, a conference room. And then the existing building had a two-story space where the customer service areas were, and it looks out onto this sort of nice private courtyard. We're now looking at turning this into a break room and sort of multi-purpose rooms so that they can not only people can have breaks there, but also they can have informal meetings and also maybe even have a little private time if they need a break. So it serves a variety of different functions. Over here on the west addition is primarily the engineering addition. So we have the closed offices on the perimeter, the workstation environment in the middle, a large window at the southern area to sort of provide a double-story area with light that floods in. And the support engineering spaces such as plot space, storage space, IT space. And then we also have the locker and sort of mudroom here with a little bit of wash outside for the engineers who come back out of the field and can store wet weather gear, have it dry in a dry room, and then also hose off and be able to change into their normal work attire. So I'm just going to take you on a quick tour around the building. We're going to start basically over here on the eastern, got longer arms, on the eastern side, and look at the main entry and approach the building, and then we'll wrap around in sort of a counterclockwise manner. This is the main entry of the building. So this is sort of a shot as you pull in. The aesthetic of the building is a very Pacific Northwest aesthetic with the large gable roofs, the overhangs to provide wet weather protection, the large glass windows to allow the inside and outside to bring a lot of interior light in, the use of stone veneer on the front of the building to elevate the public face of it, but also it's a great durable material for long-term usage. Dropped canopy here for inviting guests in and signaling out the main entry of the space. Back behind her, this is the commission room areas, so we have sort of an informal plantings out in front. That sort of mimic like a little stream with some basalt columns and for sitting, but also helping provide protection to the building. And then over on this side is where most of the accessible parking happens, but you can see we have a nice two-story sort of window storefront along this side to allow a lot of nice northern light in. So as you enter in, this is what's going to be filtering through to show you the display area, and then at the end of it, the customer service area. So this is just a little bit more rotated view as we come around the side. Again, we're seeing mainly here the customer service history hallway with the commission room right behind it. A little bit closer look at the main entry, at the drop canopy and the main entry doors. Sort of the addressing and the building name on the side. These are a couple of views as we come around the end of the building. So if I were to go back to, so we have sort of a, oops, I'll do something there. Oh, there we go. So this is the customer service area. We have sort of a private garden wall here that separates the public areas from the private areas. So we're going to sort of jump on the other side of the wall here and take a look at the employee entrance. This is the wall that happens over here. So we've tried to reconfigure this area. Again, this is that two-story space I was talking about a little bit earlier with the break room. Have a covered break room area, so in nice weather people can sit outside and have their lunch or just a brief break outside. The walkway comes from the secure parking lot. We've sort of done a little bit of a shaped gable structure here to signify the entry into the building. The aesthetic of the building changes from being more of a brick veneer to a metal panel with a brick wainscoting. So the wainscoting will provide the durability down at the people level, and then using the metal panel with a varying sort of pattern to it to provide interest and break up some of the larger runs of the building. This is the canopy that ties, existing canopy that ties the administration building to the warehouse. At this point, this is the employee entrance right here.
Let me get that back to full screen.
Oh, thanks. Sorry about that. This is the Western Edition with the warehouse. So again, it's basically taking the existing structure and adding onto it to keep the same sort of height. The nice thing is we're also using the MPP panels, the mass plywood panels on this structure as well. The mass plywood panels worked really great with the warehouse because it allows you to bring the panels on site, erect them really quickly, and then weatherproof them in and then do the final cladding on it, be it roofing or siding. We also have large areas where we're getting these larger spans too, and the ability to then use the underside of the MPP panel as a finish for those rooms is another attractive feature to it, because it's basically doing double duty, not only as the structure, but also as the finish on the other side. So we see in the engineering addition is we're using those panels as the roof system there, as well as over the commission room and sort of a larger gable. And we're supporting it with these larger glue lam beams that go through it. So we're trying to get as much efficiency out of the materials, as well as, you know, use them aesthetically and kind of create the language of the building. So over here, we're seeing 1.5 story space. So again, there's workstations behind here. We'll see a future, a little rendering later on. But again, to bring in as much light as possible deeper into the building, since this is sort of one of the deeper spaces. And again, using the brick wainscoting on the lower portion, and then the metal paneling in a couple different patterns to provide interest along the south face. Talk briefly about the plan here. This just goes into a little bit more detail of the commission room. This is in the formal commission room layout. We've have a system, underfloor system, so we can look at providing power or data in a couple other configurations, either all staff meetings or training meetings. Again, we have shades to work over here with the large walls, glass walls, so we can control light in there for different presentations. The liberation room immediately off of the commission dais. The storage room for helping store all the different furniture in the room, and then a support pantry for refreshments. The main entry here is, I should have done this in order, but anyway, here back to the main entry. It's off the front of the building. Again, we'll see some of the renderings here of the entry display area with the customer service at the end of it. This is the view, this is the main entry. We basically pulled off the exterior system here, so you can kind of get an idea of a printed wall covering that will show sort of the forest that a lot of our part of McMinnville Water and Light's watershed. And then also, this is the main entry to the commission room, a decorative light fixture, calling to mind the idea of water and rain, since most of the power is generated from the Bonneville Dam, which is water supported, rain supported. And then the display here sort of, again, mimicking the idea of water and a river that shows the progression of McMinnville Water and Light from its early times back at the beginning of the, well, actually, yeah, in the late 1880s all the way up to today. As you enter into the main space here, the commission room off to your left, the entry there, the display here, you can easily see the customer service windows down at the end. People in the customer service will be able to easily monitor people coming and going, so they can see if anyone needs help, or very, very recognizable for servicing. This is sort of the interior view on the opposite side of there of what the staff will see, and they have the different 4 booths for helping people out, as well as the private meeting area. Here's a quick render of the commission room, looking at the main dais again, large projection screen in the back, the main dais with a decorative back panel on it. What we're seeing down here in the gray is a pattern acoustic felt to help manage the acoustics of the room. See the large glulam beams and the underside of the MPP system there. This is the opposite view over here, again, replicating the large sort of mural wall covering of the forest in the background. And then the concept is to show sort of the history of the commissioners or the GMs of McMinnville Water and Light. So using this wall on both sides as sort of a historic memorial to McMinnville Water and Light and people who served it. This is the break room. So again, it's composed of basically 3 areas when we did the programming: an outdoor area in green, a large sort of communal service area in blue, and more of a private area for individuals to sit or have one-on-one meetings in the orange. What we're seeing here is sort of the large communal 2-story space. So we have the service wall at the back of it, recycling, and there's a TV monitor for announcements and just general McMinnville water and light information here. Variety of sitting opportunities here. And then back behind it, a drop ceiling, that's sort of a transparent grid. You can kind of see it up in this image up here at the top. That sort of brings the scale down to a little bit more private, intimate level. 2-person booths over here, 1 and 2, up to 4-person seating arrangements over here, more softer seating, more lounge-like. So again, people want sort of more of a private break can go here. Larger sort of community gatherings or just general break room items happen here. Coffee service, dishwasher, flatware, everything else that helps with serving meals is down at that wall. And then lastly, this is the engineering wing. So again, we have the private offices that flank either end. This looks out to the west with the large windows looking out into the yard area. The engineering workstations here. So again, trying to bring as much light deep into the room as possible. Support spaces over here in the green. And then the entry over here with the boot wash just outside, and the locker room for wet weather gear, personal items, and drying area. These are just a couple of the other areas in the building, but you can kind of see from the images, the palette is a relatively simple but refined palette, using the sort of traditional items from the Pacific Northwest as the dark metal frames, the expression of wood as a feature material in the space, and then simple neutral colors for a lot of the walls and ceilings, and then the ground plane either defined by carpeted or LVT or wood style or polished concrete flooring. So this is a look of just one of the typical offices, the introduction of a larger 30-inch side light so that the spaces can really bring light deep into it. We're seeing sort of the conference room in the back room right there. Here's a view down one of the hallways with the offices on the left. So areas where we're getting a lot of light bringing deeper into the building, as well as opportunities for gallery spaces to show some of the history of and artifacts of McMinnville Water and Light. Yep. And so that's just a quick tour again through the design development and package, and also some of the imagery that we've done developing produced drawings for PNC's estimation. So, thank you. I guess next I'll bring Jeremiah. Construction.
Good evening, Commission. Thanks for having us.
Oh,
I'm Jeremiah Dodson, pre-construction and senior project manager for PNC. And our partnerships gets to bring the GMP cost and schedule, which I'm going to share next, to the drawings that Stephen just shared. All right, so what you're looking at here is the guaranteed maximum price. This column right here is the total cost. We're coming in at $24,941,119. And then that total is broken up into three other columns here. What the admin building addition is, what the center one here, the warehouse and seismic is, and then what the last one here is this site work. So we break out the total GMP into those three components just so that we can see what those costs are. And this estimate is consistent with the exact same format that we did for schematic design and design development. And now we're here presenting the GMP under $25 million. The three columns on the far right are just alternates. So they're not part of the GMP. And schedule, we also get to bring to the project. So what you're looking at here are project milestones. This green line right here represents where we're at right now. So we have bid the project. Today we're presenting the GMP. And then in June, we're hoping to get the permit issued and start construction so that we can be substantially complete in July of 2027, at which time Water and Light gets to move in. So that is the GMP cost and the total schedule for the project that we're presenting today.
Yes,
Been a lot of work.
yeah,
Um,
that's great.
One thing I would add also is we've had a lot of engagements from employees. So we've had a number of different committees within the utility. So we've had furniture committee, we've had interiors, we've had what other ones? There's security, IT. What's that?
IT technology.
Yeah, and then we've got the OAC group, which is Trina, myself, Chad, and Bryce in that group. So probably close to 20 employees have been involved in those groups alone, but there's been other engagement from employees as well.
And this figure falls right in line with what
Yep.
the original plan was.
Correct.
Good job, everybody.
Okay.
Any commission have any questions right now?
You said one on the alternates. When would that come into play for rehab that looks like thermal and moisture protection?
I don't think we're gonna accept any of those at this point.
Okay,
Yeah.
So they're just gonna stay as
that's just-
alternates.
Yeah.
They're just gonna stay, yeah.
Okay.
I thought about hiding those columns. but then if I left them in, it'd be harder to read. It's so hard to read right now.
Yeah, no,
Then you can really say you were transparent too, right?
Question about permits. I read that you were expecting those late May, early June. Are those coming or have we filed?
Yeah, so we received the comments back in May. The permit is your public works comments, building department comments, and then we have landscape design review. And so we got conditional approval for landscape design review. The public works, there was questions over some of the survey work with the right of way of Riverside and some of the frontage improvements along that. So we had to go out and get a resurvey done, so it pushed the schedule back a little bit. So right now, we're back in for, we just resubmitted last week for building as well as the public works. So it's probably gonna be like at least 2 to 3 weeks until we get the approval or additional comments. So that will put us right at the kind of beginning to mid of June.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Did Lisa have any online? I can't see her, so is somebody watching?
That what you want to get a presentation on?
Yeah, I can stop sharing.
I don't have any questions, Kim.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay. Well, there's one thing that I would like to bring, I think everything's been discussed between MWA and PNC, at least as far as the memo is concerned. There's one thing I'd like to bring to the commission's attention is on, in PNC's, GMP proposal. There's a line item in there for 3.5%, evolution of design contingency. And so what that is we actually, the pricing set that was bid out to the subcontractors was the permit set. And so what's gonna end up happening is any in responses or comments that we get back as a result of the permits will be incorporated into the final issue for construction drawings. And that 3.5% evolution of contingency, we're hoping will absorb any of those changes, any of the costs. So that's what that 3.5% is. So I just want to be abundantly transparent with that. There will be a change order regardless. Hopefully not financial impact, but potentially. But there'll definitely be modifications to the drawings through the amendments or through the changes through the permitting process. So that's one thing I did want to bring up to the commission. But outside of that, we are, staff is seeking, through written resolution, approval of the guaranteed maximum price proposal submitted by McMinnville Water and Lights Construction Manager, General Contractor, or CMGC, PNC Construction Company for the construction of the office expansion, remodel, and warehouse seismic retrofit project for the GMP of $24,941,919, and to authorize the mayor and clerk of the commission to sign Exhibit A, guaranteed maximum price amendment to the pre-construction contract with PNC Construction dated May 22nd of 2025, which would transition the project from pre-construction to construction phase services.
Do I have a motion to accept the resolution?
And I'll just read it, just
Okay.
for the record. This resolution number 2026-A, resolution by the City of McMinnville's Water and Light Commission to approve the guaranteed maximum price amendment to the contract to construct the office expansion, remodel of warehouse seismic retrofit project with PNC Construction Company. That's resolution number 2026-8.
Now, do I have a motion to accept the resolution or?
I would make that motion.
Six, I have a motion from Commissioner Johnson. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Commissioner Lisa Macy Baker. Any discussion or questions at this point? Yep. All right, Trina?
Mayor Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Macy Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
all
you.
of you, for all your hard work. Excited to get going. Yes.
Excited.
Now again, you're that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So there's no further business? Okay, with no further business, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 4:33 PM. Great,
Thank you.
thank you.